to deep body stretching. I recommend using your blocks for this stretch. So if you have blocks, put them close by. Start in a comfortable seated position. Breathing, landing, letting everything go, simply being present, being ready to move right into this treat for your body. So extending arms out, begin to breathe up, exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Letting yourself fully arrive, feeling present on the mat, and extending through the arms, feeling your spine long, feeling your sits bones grounded. Inhale, exhale. Relax through the shoulders, soften the entire face. Now as you stretch up, interlacing the fingers to point the palm upward, and then bringing the palms forward. Full stretch in the arms, relax the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades separate on your back. Move into stirring the pot. So with fingers clasped, just a full reach out with the arms and a pull in. And if you like, you can certainly change directions with that. Let the movement come right from the pelvic girdle. So you're waking up the body right at that joint point. Inhale, exhale fully throughout the practice. If you ever find your mind wandering, just return to that breath, that full inhale and exhale. Now letting your head relax to one side, you may want to bring the hand up and let it lightly rest on the head. Not a full pressure, but just enough to relax. Hand releases, let your head drop down and roll over to the other side. Again, the hand can float up to land on the side of the head. Feel yourself fill the core with breath. Exhale as your head rolls back down. Lifting the head up. Looking to one side for a different type of stretch. And then toward the other side. Breathing and reaching again, palms up, head looks down. Clasped hands rest behind the head. Gently the head rests against those hands. Now stretching the back, you're going to just bring the elbows toward one another. They do not have to touch, but just open up the shoulder blades. Still feeling yourself, fully taking in that prana, the breath of yoga, and exhaling as you now turn and send an elbow toward the knee. Certainly doesn't have to touch, but just get that body twist. Other elbow toward the knee. And reaching one more time. And if your legs are starting to go to sleep, you may want to switch them. Whichever leg's in front, put it in back, and just change your lotus position. So again, one more twist and stretch. No hurry, just being right in the space. Arms release down. Again, switching the legs if they're getting a little bit stiff. And now moving into torso rotations. Hands can just lightly rest and help you support this movement. Think straight spine, keeping the spine straight. Changing directions. Let the top of your head guide the circle as you move all the way around. Think about lubricating joints, giving the spine that gentle flexion. Again, reaching up, we're grabbing elbows now, trying to have those clasped elbows and forearms right over the head, stretching through the sides of the torso. One hand drops down behind the neck and the other reaches around behind. Now, the very flexible among you can touch fingers, otherwise just aim those fingers at one another. Feel your heart space rise and fall. Prepare to reach the arms back so that you can reverse. One arm goes back, the other behind. Again, just pointing the fingers toward one another. Open the elbows. Try not to let that front elbow drift forward. This movement shouldn't be a strain, but it's opening the front of the body as you breathe. Shake it out, adjust your seat. Again, if you need to adjust legs, do that. Gentle floating stretch to each side. Reaching fully through the arms. Remember, the back is sliding against a wall. Try not to let the torso come forward. Gentle reach and stretch. Along the arm, the full torso. Sitting tall before you move on. Let's come into dolphin lifts. So you're folding the legs over to the side. Hands on either side of that leg, spine is straight. Begin to lower yourself, feeling the strength of the arms, helping you lower and lift. Breathing. Slow and controlled movement. Inhale, exhale, or maybe you inhale on the way up and exhale on the way down, whatever feels natural. This is stretching out the legs and building arm strength. Switching to the other side, getting ready for dolphin lifts on the other side. Find your comfortable position and then just begin slowly lifting and lowering. Making sure that you're fully aware of that movement as you lower and lift back up. Breathing, slow and controlled, with intention. Maybe even hear the breath as it comes in and goes out. Making your way back to a seated position. Rolling the shoulders. Maybe rolling back a few times and then forward. Feeling that release through the upper body. Makes room in the ribs for the breath as you stretch the torso. And then in a minute, we're just gonna hunch the shoulders up and let them relax. So just draw them right up by the ears. Let them relax down. Breathe in, breathe out. Just as important as the movement in yoga. Now changing positions, getting ready to do a little bit of work on knees. So if you have a blanket, definitely makes the knees a little more comfortable. Coming into a table position. Balanced hands and knees, comfortable hands, legs comfortable distance apart, moving right into cat and dog poses, rounding the back and then letting the belly button drop toward the mat. Round and lower. Maybe exhale, push all the breath out when you round. Inhale, as you lift the chin and lift the tailbone, drop the head and tailbone, lift. So back and forth movement for your spine, spine flexion. Let's do the side to side movement. Imagine you're making a letter C to each side with the spine. So the shoulders and head go toward one another and you're looking over that shoulder. Take it back to center and look in the other direction. C curves. Inhale fully. Exhale. Pulling back now into a child pose, whatever that feels like for you. Arms can be extended. You might want to stack fists. Let your forehead rest on the fist if that's a little more comfortable, having your head higher. Fetal child is also another way that you can be in the child pose. And that's draping the arms alongside the body. You need to widen the legs a bit there so that the torso can drop down, but child needs to be whatever it looks like for you, feels like for you, so that it's comfortable. Releasing through the back, child. Arms extend out in your child pose, and then stretch by walking both hands over to your right, and then over to your left. Which side doesn't matter since we're doing both. Arms extend out, and then we're moving into a small flow from child to up dog. So pulling back on the mat, arms extended, and then letting yourself drift forward. Breathing, taking your time to get this full body stretch. If you'd like to pause in either of these places rather than continuing to move, yogi's choice. But breathe and move, building arm strength. Stretching through the torso. Stretches out muscles in the buttocks. The slight back bend. Great movement for the spine. That flexibility we try to build in the core. Stay with the breath. So changing your blanket so that you have a little bit more movement on that. We're going to do work on our knees, and we will be using the blocks. So having those toward the front edge of your mat. Blocks aren't mandatory, but they certainly make the movements easier to do and more doable. Less strain. Stack the blocks any way that you like. Coming into a knee down warrior. Either foot goes right between the blocks. Arms at your side. This is monkey pose. Release through the shoulders. Top of the head reaches to the sky. Find your balance. Inhale, arms up. Exhale down. Interlace fingers behind. Yoga mudra. Rotate your torso forward. Reach the clasped fists back and away from you. Top of the head reaches forward. Yoga mudra in knee down warrior. Notice your balance. Prepare to release. Drop the hands into monkey arms. Lengthen. Reach for the sky. Stay with that breath, especially if you find your mind wandering. We're coming into a full runner's lunge, so you may want to adjust where the blocks are, lifting that back knee. And then we're going to begin to breathe into this runner's lunge, but just check your lines and then begin to straighten and bend that front knee. Support of the blocks is great here as you stretch and come back down. This is a difficult one to do with hands on the floor, so I really do recommend yoga blocks so that it takes the strain out of the pose and the effort goes toward fully working the muscles. So just breathing in and out of this stretch. Pausing, back knee comes down, lifting again into knee down warrior, monkey arms, palms are forward, shoulders relaxed, try not to let them hunch up. Sweeping arms up, breathing, preparing to take them down, switching feet, warrior on the other side, knee down warrior, finding that straight line, finding your breath, sweeping arms up, and prepare to let them relax down and behind, interlacing fingers, yoga mudra once again. As you bend forward, head reaches forward, hands reach back. In this pose, we're letting the head bow to the wisdom of the heart. Getting ready for your runner's lunge. So adjusting your blocks, lifting that back knee, making sure you're comfortable before you begin the breathing lunge, straightening the front leg and bending it. Inhale, exhale. It's a great way to bring the mind back to the practice. If you notice thoughts dropping in, just let your mind notice that happening and find the breath. There's no hurry. Take the stretch as it works for you. Knee down, finding your way back to the starting point with knee down warrior. Sweeping arms up, down to the heart. Stay with the breath. Blocks can move out of the way. Find your way to child. Settling in, just bringing the thoughts right back to the mat. You and presence on the mat. Taking in the benefits of your practice, preparing to step back into whatever your activity is, and taking the benefits that will carry you through into whatever comes next. Namaste.